This might be an unpopular opinion, but I've always stood by the fact that your shoes can be an outfit maker or an outfit breaker. And one of my most asked questions is what shoes to pair with particular hem lengths or particular outfits. So I thought we could break this down in today's video where I show you the wrong pairing to wear with an outfit and then how I would style it the right way. And I want to preface this by saying that style is subjective. You may like the before more, but I'm going to give you a bit of insight into why I feel like the after ends up working better and has more harmony and balance. Today's video is in partnership with VIVAIA and they have some incredible new styles. The first pair I can't wait to share with you because they are so good, and I do have a discount code as always. I'm going to leave those details on screen as well as down in the description box where you'll find links to everything that I share in this video. We'll dive straight into the outfits, and the very first look, I'm actually recreating a celebrity outfit. It's this one worn by Bella Hadid, which I'm going to put on screen, but I'm not going to show you what shoes she wore. Now, capris are contentious as they are. I've said before that I feel like these are quite a difficult item to style, but I want to talk you through how I think they really work. So in my first example, I'm going to show you the wrong way. So I've replicated the essence of Bella Hadid's outfit, wearing those tight-fitting capris which cut off just below the knee, a very awkward length, and then I've styled that with an oversized bomber jacket. Now, it would be better if this bomber was ever so slightly longer on me, so just kind of visualize that when you're looking at this outfit. And underneath, I've just worn a black turtleneck, and then I've gone with quite a big slouchy bag. Now, the shoes that I've originally started this look with are a pair of quite kind of wide fit slip-on mules, and here it makes the entire outfit feel incredibly confused. While yes, you could wear a chunkier shoe on bottom in order to balance the volume across the shoulders, what's happening here is that there's incongruity between the different style essences of the look. There's just too much going on. It feels too busy. We have the edginess of the jacket, then we have the femininity of the capris, and then we have this kind of classic, modern, ever so slightly masculine element of the slip-on loafers. So what I do instead is swap them out for VIVAIA's new Yancey sneakers, and I can't even tell you how excited I am to share these with you because they are beyond comfortable. I actually think outside of their regular sneakers with the super foamy heel, these are the most comfortable shoes I've tried from the brand, and I feel like they're incredibly chic too. This is the type of mashup that I really can appreciate. I love a sneaker, but often I find it's a little bit too sporty or too chunky for me. So this kind of dials it back, gives it a really nice streamlined silhouette. And you also have the lovely feminine detail of the organza bow, which you can swap out. You can kind of style these up a few different ways. You can add little charms if you wish. And I think that's quite a fun way to adorn and personalize our shoes. Now, these are made from an eco-friendly recycled nylon, and they're so lightweight as well. They weigh 163 grams, which is the equivalent of an apple. I love the fact that they are incredibly flexible, so great for packing. You can just stuff these into your suitcase when you're heading on a trip, but you can also tuck them in your handbag as well because they fold up so nicely. The re-nylon upper is really beautiful because you have these two textures, the classic nylon and then the suede effect finish, which I think just gives these a bit more dimension, and they're machine washable, so you don't have to worry about the light color. You can just throw them in the machine if they get a little bit grubby, but they do come in a few different colors. If you like, you can style them with a leg warmer, which VIVAIA have a few options on their website. If you kind of want to lean into more of that ballet core vibe, maybe you're wearing these to Pilates or something like that. And the thing I really like about these though is the price. You may have seen Prada's collapse sneaker, which I'll insert a photo of here. They kind of have a very similar sort of shape, very similar vibe, but those retail for $995 US, which is insane to me. And Louis Vuitton also do a very kind of similar sort of a silhouette. So this is a great way to get that luxury look for less without compromising on the quality. And to kind of zoom out on that picture of Bella Hadid, she is wearing these shoes, and you can see how this version of the outfit feels so much more balanced because here we're mixing two different styles as opposed to three, because the shoes have that real feminine, kind of quite ladylike element to it, which aligns nicely with the capris and also keeps that really lovely sort of streamlined silhouette on our lower half, which plays with those traditional rules of how we balance our oversized and slimmer proportions in an outfit. And I just think also it's a nice way to bring that contrast in with the black and white in the look. Our next outfit also has some sporty elements to it, which is down to the fact that I've paired some cotton shorts with a slouchy knit, and I also have a crossbody bag on, and it's kind of giving tonal, but then you have this element of contrast at the feet with the shoes. And I personally don't mind this level of contrast, but I feel like here, having something in that neutral color palette would really give this that sense of harmony. And also, I find the squared off pointed toe just feels a little bit harsh against this outfit, almost like it doesn't make sense, as though I throw on a shoe for the sake of throwing on a shoe. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to style those Yancey sneakers with this look again, this time pairing it with a little kind of tennis ankle sock, which I think kind of plays up the sweetness of the shoes. And here we have that nice balance between that relaxed athleisure moment and then a shoe that is more streamlined, a bit more polished, but it doesn't feel quite so sharp against the look, more like it's working with the outfit as opposed to against it. And by going for a fully tonal outfit, we can worry less about proportions. So I'm less bothered by the fact that I am wearing an ankle sock rather than exposing all of my leg, because it doesn't appear to be creating any visual breaks in my outfit. I wanted to style a couple of outfits featuring mini dresses or mini skirts next, especially for those of you in the Northern Hemisphere as you're starting to transition into the autumn season. Perhaps you're thinking about how you can restyle some of your favorite kind of spring summer pieces for the cooler months. And a great option obviously to just throw sort of a mid-length jacket over the top. So for the first outfit, I am wearing this butter yellow dress, which I've styled with an oversized trench. And I wanted to add in that rich depth that we often get from those autumnal colors. So I've gone with a burgundy bag. Now where this outfit has gone wrong is with the shoe. The black driving loafer is all wrong here for a couple of reasons. One, it just feels too stark against the butter yellow, and to me this is a color pairing that is just completely criminal and I will always suggest against it. But the other thing is that there's also quite a lot of coverage on the foot, and that combined with the rounded toe, it really stunts my legs and actually visually makes me feel a little bit shorter than if I'd chosen a different shoe that exposed more of the top of my foot. So I'm going to style these with VIVAIA's new Rita mid-heel boots, and there's a couple of reasons why these are really cool. So normally I wouldn't be wearing an ankle length boot with a mini dress like that because you end up creating these harsh horizontal breaks in your outfit. But these boots now come with a knitted sleeve leg warmer, which allows you to essentially transform the look of the boot and get two shoes in one, which I kind of love this. You can see when I add that on, these essentially become a knee-high boot. So we're creating that great balance in terms of thirds in our outfit rather than breaking the outfit up in an awkward way. And I love that this allows you to really play around with your outfit and also the mood of the look, and it's giving Givenchy. If you know, you know, there's a very specific pair of boots and it's so reminiscent of that, but of course a fraction of the price. The thing I love about VIVAIA's boots too is that they feature a really nice stretchy knit upper, so it accommodates any calf width. So even if you're someone who does have thicker calves, you're not going to have any issues with these being too snug, which is a problem that I sometimes mention with other boots that I own in leather. It's so handy that they're water repellent, so I know that that's kind of a common issue in the colder months. Rain, what shoes do we wear? You can safely wear these without worrying about your feet getting soaked through. What's great about this pairing is that it actually balances out the width across the shoulders as well by bringing that volume to the feet, so we get that lovely kind of X-shaped silhouette, which I find to be universally flattering. And it also allows me to play with that richness, that depth, those really lovely deep dark shades that we want to wear when it is cooler without it feeling too stark or almost like it's dragging the outfit down. For my next outfit, we're going to go tonal, but I'm going to explain to you why this to me feels very off. So we have a little suede effect mini skirt paired with a shearling knit jacket, tick tick, because we're introducing that great texture into our outfit. Good way to make it feel dimensional. We have a bag that is still in brown, but it's a slightly lighter tone, so it kind of adds a softness to the outfit in addition to the fact that it's a really slouchy silhouette. And then we have a boot which cuts off around mid-calf, and this is in that similar color palette. But the issue for me here is because my legs are pale, it creates those horizontal blocks that I was talking about, cutting me off in multiple areas in a way that is not figure flattering. It actually stunts my height and makes me me look shorter. And this is why I always recommend against wearing a mid-calf boot like this with any sort of mini skirt or mini dress. Instead, I suggest wearing something that is more of a knee-high or knee-length boot so that we can reduce that break, so that we can ensure our outfit is nicely broken up into those thirds. So I've subbed in the Rita Boots from VIVAIA again, and you can see instant improvement, but I've kind of given them a little bit of a shift from the previous look. Instead of pairing it with that kind of wider knitted sleeve, I've opted for one that is in more of a soft rib texture that is cut really close to the leg. So it's nice and stretchy, almost like a sock that's open at both ends. And this allows me to create that really lovely sock effect, knee-high boot look. And I feel like that just works so much better here. We have a very small visual break in the outfit. It just looks so much more harmonious. It looks really chic and polished. And it also continues that nice vertical line of the outfit from head to toe beautifully. Another really terrible pairing with this mini skirt is a chunky sneaker, and I would avoid that at all costs, but here's how it looks just in case you were curious. All right, for this next look, I'm styling something that is very Carolyn Bessette Kennedy-esque, a black turtleneck top with a pair of tailored trousers, which are cropped at the ankle. And I love a trouser like this, and worn monochromatic like this, it's not going to cut you off too much, because remember, a crop pant can make you look a little bit shorter. So the first way that I've styled this is with a camel colored ballet flat, which is a squared off toe and also cut really high up the foot, so really high vamp. What this does is it creates a bit of a diamond shaped silhouette where the widest part of the outfit are the trousers. And because there is no horizontal balance across the shoulders, to me this looks a little bit awkward, especially as it is so similar to my skin tone that it almost just looks like my trousers are floating in midair. So what I want to do is swap these out for a shoe that has a bit more heft to it, that's a bit more chunky and allows you to highlight the ankles, so we do have that slim component without compromising on the actual silhouette itself. So I'm going to go with the Luciana loafers from VIVAIA, and these are made from a recycled velvet upper, which feels so beautiful and soft, and it also has this lovely buckle detail here on the side. What's great about these particular shoes is they do have that double cushioned inner, which makes them really, really comfortable to wear, in addition to that lovely little lip at the back of the heel to help avoid blisters. And you have these shock absorbing soles, which are really hefty and chunky. Because they have that double arch support, these are great for all day wear, a really good option for someone who is on their feet for extended periods of time. What I like about these shoes with the outfit, they instantly ground the look, and because they are in that deeper, darker shade, they help to continue that vertical line, which instantly gives that visual appearance of looking longer, looking taller, which is something I'm often seeking out in many of my own outfits. I did want to mention you actually can style these with the detachable leg warmers as well if you wish, and I'll show you a little cutaway of how that looks, and you've got a few different options if you want to play around with the styling. This next outfit has a lot of relaxed oversized elements to it. So we've got an oversized shirt, a tailored long skirt, and then for the first iteration, which to me just feels a little bit off, we're wearing those driver loafers again, and I feel like the issue I have here is because there is so much volume, it's like what I was saying before, you end up having this narrow tapered point at the foot. Of course, when we are wearing relaxed silhouettes, we want to have that nice balance of relaxed and slim elements, which you can easily just push up the sleeves a little bit, and that helps kind of bring that in. The other thing also that this outfit has is a slant towards tailored components. The skirt, the shirt is classic tailoring, even though it's oversized, and the loafers, those to me read as very casual. I want a more structured loafer, something that is a little bit more refined, so that outfit leans in that direction because we've already got the casual slouchy bag. I don't need another casual element in this look. So we're going to swap out to those loafers again from VIVAIA, and you can instantly see how this transforms the outfit, grounds the look, and gives it that balance, that harmony that it was lacking before. The shoes have a bit more heft to them, and because a little bit of the ankle is exposed, it really allows those shoes to shine and highlights them nicely. This length of skirt is actually perfect for pairing with a chunky loafer. My next look, we've gone kind of tonal again here, but we've got these points of contrast both with the bag and the shoes, and oh, these shoes, I love them so much, but they feel so wrong here. They're dragging the outfit down because it's creating such a high element of contrast, but also it's that black with the yellow. I cannot do it at all. And also the high gloss finish feels like there is this imbalance in the textures in the outfit as well. And it's really highlighting the fact that I am wearing a cropped pant, so that visual line of my legs is shortened even further, particularly as I am wearing a longer jacket. So what I'm going to do is swap them out for VIVAIA's Margot Mary Janes, which I feel like I've mentioned in almost every video I've filmed with them, but they are just such a great style and they continue to improve them. And I really, really love the current iteration with the cable knit design. I think it is so cozy, so tactile, and just adds this lovely feminine quality to the shoe. They are great for those who have wider feet because of the cut. They're not pointed at the toe, and they're also generously cut across the foot as well. They have that lovely little lip at the heel, which helps to prevent blisters. Really flexible, so good for packing. And you have this adjustable strap, which means that you can customize the fit. So if you have a really wide foot, you're not going to feel like there's no strap to accommodate. These also have arch and forefront support, and like the Yancey sneakers, machine washable as well. Perfect, so easy to care for. So the second that I put these shoes on with the outfit, even though there is a strap across my foot, there is an instant shift in the balance here, and you can probably see why these work. It creates more of that tonal element from head to toe, which is elongating despite the fact that these aren't a pointed toe shoe, and the strap across the foot doesn't cause any awkward visual breaks because it's not an ankle strap, which cropped pants, do not wear them with ankle strap shoes because it will instantly cut you off. I'll try and find some reference photos in case you need. But I love also that this brings an additional texture into the outfit as well. The final outfit is another example of why you should not be wearing mid-calf boots with a mini skirt. You can see here, well, there's a few issues for this outfit. One, we've got a scarf jacket on and a little silky mini skirt, but paired with these creamy boots that do have the rounded toe, there's something a little bit 60s about this entire outfit that feels costume-like in a way that I personally wouldn't wear in reality. It feels like something about the execution is a little bit off. The thing I am loving though is the addition of that red bag, which brings in that beautiful depth to the look. So we're going to swap these out for the Margot Mary Janes and that lovely little cable knit design, and this is a silhouette that works so well with mini skirt because you have all that space from the hem of the skirt to the shoes, and I feel like it also highlights them really nicely. You can imagine if you had a darker shoe here, the beautiful contrast that it could bring, especially if you're opting for a cherry red, and that would really pop, especially with the red bag as well. A way I could further enhance this outfit is if I were to bring up the hemline of the jacket so it's more of a waist length jacket, because right now I'm creating 2/3 in my upper half without taking into consideration the shoes. So that's just another little swap that you can make. As it is, it still works, but that's a way you could take it one step further to create ultimate outfit harmony. So those are some of the reasons why your shoes might be ruining your outfits. I hope that you enjoyed this one and that it gave you a bit of food for thought, some ideas for maybe why some outfits you've worn in the past haven't felt 100% there for you. Don't forget that you can save on your next purchase of VIVAIA shoes using my code, which I'll have on screen. I'll also pop those details down in the description box below, along with links to all of the shoes I featured. Honestly, the Yancey, a standout. I'm so obsessed. I want to get these in the black. I did size up, by the way, in all of the shoes to a 41 and then a 40.5 in the Margot Mary Janes to get my perfect fit, as I am someone who has wide feet, and I love that VIVAIA catered to that, as you all know. But thank you so much for spending some of your day with me. I'm always really grateful, and I hope this gave you lots of inspiration and ideas, maybe some outfit inspo for the season ahead. Enjoy the rest of your week ahead, and don't forget to subscribe if you're new and you want more ideas like this, brand reviews, and how to make the most out of your wardrobe. I'll see you very soon with my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.